Uh, there are a lot of things to tell about Prabhu. He is one of the most amazing kirtaniyas, one of the most amazing harmonium players, and ranking from his musical skills to artistic skills, he has a profound interest in everything. A small sneak peek: the Jagannath deities you see in Ujjain, Jagannath Prem Prabhu, as you say, his name says Jagannath's Prem. So he is fortunate enough to paint those Jagannath deities in ISKCON Ujjain, and he's very renowned for that. And he's the first disciple of His Holiness Bhakti Prema Swami Maharaj. So you know the fact how dear he is to Maharaj. So we have with us Jagannath Prem Prabhu. So today we will be hearing from um, His Grace Madhusevita Prabhu. So first we'll play the lecture from 5:30 to 6. And then at 6 p.m. Jagannath Prem Prabhu will take over the session and glorify Madhusevita Prabhu. Hare Krishna. I request the host to kindly make me co-host so that I can share the screen. Ramlila Prabhuji. Thank you.
Om Jnana-timirandasya Gyananjana-shalakaya Chakshurum-militam yena tasmai Shri-gurave namaha Shri Chaitanya-manubhistam Stapitam yena bhutale Svayam rupa kadamahayam Dadati shvapadantikam Narayanam namaskritya naram chaivo narottamam devim sarasvatim vyasam tato jayam udirayat shrinvatam svakata krishna punnashravana kirtanam ridyantastoya bhadrani vidunoti suritsatam nashtaprayesu abhadreshu nitam bhagavata sevaya bhagavate uttamas Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna. I pray Srila Prabhupada. So if I mispronounce something, Bhakti Chaitanya Maharaj, please be merciful and correct me. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 3rd chapter. The verse is number 31, right? Okay. Yamaraj instructs his messengers. Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnor Jagan Mangalam Amasam Niskritam Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnor Jagan Mangalam Hamasam Mahatama Pikoravya Vidyaikantika Nishkritam Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnor Jagan Manskritam Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnor Jagan Mangalam Amasam Mahatama Pikoravya Vidyaikantika Nishkritam Tasmat Sankirvya Vidyaikantika Niskritam Tasmat Sankirtanam Vishnor Jagan Mangalam Hamasam of sinful activities. One should not conclude that one might continue to sin with the intention of chanting Hare Krishna to neutralize the reactions. Rather, one should be very careful to be free from all sins and never think of counteracting sinful activities by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, for this is another offense. If by chance a devotee accidentally performs some sinful activity, the Lord will excuse him, but one should not intentionally perform sinful acts. Shukadeva Goswami continued, "My dear king, the chanting of the holy name of the Lord is able to uproot even the reactions of the greatest sins. Therefore, the chanting of the Sankirtan movement is the most auspicious activity in the entire universe. Please try to understand this so that others will take it seriously." Mukam karoti vachalam pangurlangayate girim yat kripatamaham bande Shri Gurum dinatarinam paramananda madhavam Sri Chaitanyam Ishwaram. Spiritual world and is absolutely pure, totally, completely liberated, nothing to do with the material world, and is like a touchstone. Whoever this holy name touches, the Nam Prabhu touches, becomes purified. The name is the most merciful incarnation of the Lord. It comes on everyone's mouth, lips, even the most degraded lips, mouth, they've done anything horrible, eaten anything, or even, it doesn't mind. Is like a very caring, loving parent. When you have loving, caring parents, mother, father, they take care of the child. Even when the child, is passing stool or, doing something crazy, or even when the child commits offenses to the parents. Now they're always there to full-heartedly take care of the child. The child may become angry at the parents, may want to reject the parents even, may have, a whimsical attitude, maintain habits that the parents don't want him to maintain, but the parents are always there with an open heart to give shelter to the child. That's natural. It is their natural loving propensity. So that's the holy name. The holy name is with us, even when we commit offenses. Even when we have hesitations, asat trishna, hridaya durbalyam, aparad, swaswarupa prapta, whatever, the situation is the holy name will not give us up. And it will destroy gradually, will destroy anything that is inauspicious within our hearts. Just like parents, again, I'm giving the example. Not that I'm giving this example so that some of you say, oh, mama, me, goes back to mama and papa, it's, after hearing the class. So, but, why do the parents have such a open-hearted attitude toward their son or daughter? Because they see the progression that he or she will make. He'll become mature. He will understand that even when we chastised him or we took care of him or we forbade him to do, it's the basis for our staying in this material world. This resentment, this envy, resentment, that is the center, and we are, subordinate. That's the basis for our being here. Even that will be canceled from our heart. It will be taken away. And it's miraculous, because the example is given of a pot where you put some liquor inside. How are you going to get rid of the scent of the liquor from that pot? The pot has sort of absorbed some of that, the odor or liquor. How are you going to be, purified completely. The holy name can do that. It can take out from our Hridaya Kandara, from the cave of our heart, even the innermost form of resentment or envy towards the personality of Godhead. And it's really miraculous because when you envy someone, how are you going to be able to love him purely again? It's really a miracle if that happens. But the holy name can enact this miracle within the heart. It's like the most loving parent. Now, even the most loving, open-hearted parent sometimes has to give up his child, has to sever the relationship. When and how that can happen? And develops a mentality, a cheating mentality, to exploit the parents, to cheat them for his sense gratification, and exploiting the parents. That's Namo Baladhyasya Ipapa Buddhi in relation to the holy name. If one develops the mentality that the holy name is so merciful, the holy name is so kind, he comes with me everywhere, he'll never give me up, is somehow or other Krishna has this attitude of compassion, of being the benefactor. Suridam Sarvabhutanam is the real friend. I will exploit this nature of his and take advantage of it and them really massacre with a friend to get their money and putting up like it had been some robbery or somebody had come in and killed them. Not true. They had done it purposely, in a premeditated way, exploiting their loving propensity toward him, the son he killed, to get their wealth. So that's Namno Baladhyasya Ipapa Buddhi. That's why it's considered the worst offense, because you're taking advantage of Krishna's affection for you to cheat him. If you do that, and that implies premeditation, there are unpremeditated sins and premeditated sins. An unpremeditated sin, Konteya Pratijani Bhakti Prema Swami, even Apichetsu Duracharo, the worst thing, Krishna said, don't worry, I don't treat. If someone has an accidental fall down and you go and, get on his case for that or criticize him, it's one of the 4 types of offenses to a devotee. So Krishna is really clear about unpremeditated sin, accidental sinning. But premeditated, when you scheme how to exploit his benefit, his sweet and merciful nature. Hare Krishna. Shishirada Madam Mohan Kinjai. Then that's terrible. That's really terrible. Why? Why that kind of sin is the kind of sin that may keep someone going and chanting for millions of lifetimes and not becoming purified? Because the intelligence has been corrupted. The desire, the way that your relationship, when you develop an habit of cheating and pretension, to go back to a pure way of loving, a pure loving relation, that's very difficult. Sometimes you see couples in the world, because they have cheated each other for a long time, they can't go back to, let's go back and have a second honeymoon, at the age of, see, whatever, let's go here, let's go there. But they have cheated each other in some ways. Not every couple is like this, hopefully, but, and then it's very difficult to go back to a pristine, loving relationship. It's, because, you got all the past that happened, all the cheatings that have been going on in the past. So it becomes very difficult. And one has developed the habit of pretending to divine comedy written by a writer, in the 13th century, in 14th century in Italy, Dante Alighieri is a famous, the famous thing. And so he describes the heaven, let's say, the upper planets, the middle planets, and the hell. It describes, quite in detail, actually, with means he's got some vision. So, and in the lowest hell, where the devil is, Luciferus is, he has three guys that he's personally taking care of. He takes, there's many other demons that take care of many other guys. But these three people, they are taken care specifically by the big demon. And they are Judas, because he betrayed Jesus Christ, for 30 gold coins or whatever, silver or whatever there was. Then you have Brutus, the one who betrayed Julius Caesar, and Cassio, the other guy who betrayed Julius Caesar. Because these two guys, Bruto and Cassio, they were grown as children by Julius Caesar. He grew them, as his own children. Even though Brutus wasn't his real son, his blood son, he grew him up with so much love as his son. And he is the one with Cassio and another few guys that went to stab him and killed him. So there is the famous phrase, "Quoque tu Bruto fili mi," Even you, Brutus, when he was dying, he said, "Even you, Brutus, my son." So that's the example of someone who betrays his benefactor, someone who loves him. So they are sent, they're put in the worst hell, So who is our benefactor? The holy name. He has come no hard, fast, and rule for chanting. It goes to everyone. It purifies even the trees and the animals. Prabhupada said it purifies the ants and the microbes. It's so merciful. It's so beneficial for everyone. And we know the Hare Krishna is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Hare Ram is Nityananda Prabhu. So they have come just to give benefit, just to expand this loving, compassionate feeling for everyone. Anarpita charim chirat karuna yavatil, karuna with compassion in an unprecedented way. And if we try to cheat them, we can't think, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the form of mercy. I can go on sinning, He'll come, I've done some. Have you ever heard this thing, I've done 20 years of service, or 30 years of service, or 40 years of service. A good brother of mine once told me, Then he ended up well, I have to say. But many years ago, 30 years ago, he said, "Come on, Madhu, I give him my youth, I give him the best part of my life. Now I want to go and get sense gratification." I told him, "Be careful, don't do that, thinking that I have acquired qualifications because of my service, as an old devotee. Now I can go, and somehow or other get the pension of my devotion." Compromise our position with Chaitanya and Nityananda if we commit this particular offense, which is considered to be the worst practically, because the premeditation is there. You follow? When you go to court, if you have committed a crime, they have to see whether it was accidental, it was, done with, dolo will, or it was premeditated. If it was premeditated, it's the worst. You get the worst judgment. So, we have to be extremely careful, because this is the way we can compromise our, the mercy that we have obtained from Chaitanya Nityananda. And we have to be careful, even if we are at the elevated stage of the chanting of the name. It is said again in the Harinam Chintamani, that even if one is at the stage of namabhas, and not necessarily pratibimba namabhas, which is a reflection of the shadow of the holy name. You fall down even at the stage of namabhas. What to speak if you're still in the age of namaparad, stage of namaparad. So one has to be extremely careful, extremely careful. Bad association, bad association is like the boy that goes to school. That guy that I mentioned before in Italy, he's the friend of his. Said, "Oh, your parents are so rich, why they give you so little money? We could get more money. Could get more money." And but still, the idea, by association, he cultivated the idea, and with his friend, they killed them, massacred them, so to get their money, the inheritance. So, so by association, even one has reached, etc. But you're not free yet. You're not free. To be free from your debts doesn't mean that the tendency to acquire more debts will not manifest if you're not very careful. So we have to be extremely careful. Association is what can kill our spiritual progress or can protect us. Niskenchanasya bhagavad bhajanon mukhasya param jigamisor bhava sagarasya. Sadarshanam bisainam matayositam chaha hanta hanta bisa bhaksanatopya sadhu. Yeah, the Shastras are very heavy about it. Stick people is like bisa, like drinking poison. Very heavy. So let's be careful and let's not sit on our, let's say, allori. I don't know, it's an Italian word. Don't sit on our successes. Even if you chant and the attraction and steadiness, etc., in the chanting, careful with association, because the association may corrupt the intelligence, and that may be causing a fall down. We will only be safe when we'll be at the stage of pure Suddhanam, chanting purely, pure of the Vaishnavas, protection of his spiritual master, the Vaishnavas, because it is this bad association. You have acquired some attachment to the holy name, some progression in chanting. They come and steal it. They come and take it away. So you need bodyguards. You really need bodyguards, and the bodyguards are the Vaishnavas. So in the Harinam Chintamani they said that, you go and pray the Vaishnavas, you take their protection. Krishna will protect you, the holy name will protect you. But if you have offended the holy name in this way, for some, unconfessable reason or whatever it is, something has happened, bad association caused it or whatever, then go and humbly ask for the protection of the Vaishnavas and chant with them, chant the holy name with them, and that will purify your heart. Because more merciful than the holy name are those who purely chant the holy name. The servants of the holy name, of the Nam Prabhu. Okay, thank you very much.
I could just make one little comment. Once, well, it was actually in 1974, Srila Prabhupada says there, if you commit the seva aparads, then the effects will be removed just by your ongoing practice of devotional service.
Right.
But then Prabhupada lists out the 10 offenses, the holy names, and Prabhupada says that, however, if you commit these 10 offenses, you cannot become freed from the reactions. The words to that effect, it's there in Nectar of Devotion. So this devotee, he read this out, a few sentences, and he said, Srila Prabhupada, isn't there some way we can become free from the reactions to these 10 offenses. Can't we do something? And Prabhupada looked at him for a few seconds, and Srila Prabhupada said, "You are asking this question because you want to offend."
Right.
You want to offend, and then you want to just do something and just get free from the results or reactions of the offense. And Prabhupada said, so you must not do that. You must stop offending. No more offenses. It's a very interesting experience.
Oh, yes. Thank you, Maharaj. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
He was hinting to that Namno Baladhyasya Papa Buddhi Prabhupada. He was saying, so you want to commit offenses and then be able to remove them.
Right.
That's, technically. Yeah, that's the problem. Thank you. Any other comments or questions?
While you were giving your class, it occurred to me that this offense against the holy name, sinning on the strength of chanting, seems very similar to the kind of cheating that Narada described to Vyas when people, they'll take up religious activities just to commit, just for their sense gratification, and then commit sinful activities. So what I'm wondering is if there's any relationship between these two phenomena, this chanting on the strength of, sinning on the strength of chanting the holy name, and then just taking up religious activities for sense gratification.
Yeah, of course, there a cheating plan to utilize, to exploit the religious activity, even though it will produce, beautiful results. If he wanted to become better than Brahma. I mean, he really was ambitious. So, and we know the story, underwent penances, and there was his determination and his goal, and but when, because there was no malice, there was no envy in his heart, there was just some material desires. They got purified by the mercy of Krishna Garba, of the Lord. So he saw them as broken pieces of glass. Now, different is someone that says, "Wow, the holy name can really destroy all the sinful reactions. Oh, and so I can go on sinning, and that will destroy it." So he has a premeditated plan to exploit devotional service, Hare Krishna, to exploit devotional service, to exploit Bhakti Devi, to exploit the holy name for, so that's malicious. That's maliciousness. You say maliciousness? Yeah, that's maliciousness. That's an envious attitude, or you say exploitive attitude within the heart. Then that's worse. That's worse. That's the difference. So one is what you could say innocent, ignorant, innocent, but not malicious, The other one is, has got an exploitative, attitude, and some malice within the heart, like the Mayavadis. They may even come to the stage of Namabhas, just chanting Pratibimba Nama. That means they get some kind of photocopy of what the Namabhas, real Namabhas is, and very difficult for someone. Why? Because their purpose for chanting is to kill Krishna, is to annihilate his personality. So even they may get some symptoms of ecstasy, which sometimes come in the Namabhasa stages described, then they're going nowhere. They're going nowhere. They will, they'll
Hare Krishna. Actually, sorry for the inconvenience. The sound quality of lecture was quite low. but provided the reason, Prabhuji mostly gives lecture in Italian language. So there was only one lecture. That lecture was also from ISKCON Ujjain, but unfortunately the volume was low. But thank you for your cooperation. Now I request Jagannath Prem Prabhu to take over the session and glorify His Grace Madhusevita Group. By that time, I will share the presentation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Am I audible through you?
Yes, Prabhuji, you are audible.
Okay, so let's start with this PDF introduction. First, I will read this PDF, then I will share my what I have learned about Prabhuji. So let's start with this PDF introduction. His Grace Madhusevita Prabhu is a dedicated disciple of His Divine Grace P.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, having joined in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness in Kathmandu, Nepal in 1973 and receiving initiation in 1974. So, what services and contributions he have done? Temple leadership in India between 1974 and 1981. Madhusevit Prabhu served as a temple commander in Mayapur and later as a vice president in Kolkata. During these formative years, he played a crucial role in establishing ISKCON's presence in these regions, often under challenging circumstances. Then his leadership in Italy. Since 1982, he has been serving as a temple president at Villaggio Hare Krishna in Italy, alongside his wife Hari Krishna, a long-time BBT translator. They had a son Nitai Prasad, and he has been instrumental in nourishing the community and promoting Krishna consciousness in that region. Then Prabhuji's GBC responsibilities. In 1992, Madhusevit Prabhu became a member of ISKCON's governing body commission, taking up zonal assignments in parts of Italy, Malta, and the Benelux countries. He has also served twice as the GBC chairman in 1997 to 1998 and 2010 to 2011, focusing on strengthening the relationship within the ISKCON society and promoting effective leadership. Then his contributions in Bhaktivedanta Book Trust (BBT). Since 1991, he has been associated with the Southern European BBT as a trustee, contributing to the distribution and translation of spiritual literature. His personal interest. Beyond his administrative and spiritual duties, Madhusevit Prabhu is known for his musical talents and culinary skills, particularly his authentic lasagna, reflecting his Italian heritage. So, about Prabhuji's legacy, pioneered ISKCON in Italy, instrumental in developing Villaggio Hare Krishna into one of the most established and vibrant ISKCON communities in Europe, long-lasting temple leadership, his global leadership in ISKCON. He promoted book distribution, mentored generations, cultured integrations, advocate devotee, and respected Vaishnava. So we will elaborate this in in what I have learned about Prabhuji. So let's start. So today we are going to talk about a truly amazing person in ISKCON world, His Grace Madhusevita Prabhu. His life shows an incredible dedication and service to Srila Prabhupada's mission. So today, when Krishna Kirtan Prabhu told me, actually he told me before a few days. So when he told me I have to speak about Madhusevita Prabhu, I started finding out about him from different sources. So in one of his lectures, I learned that Prabhuji was very close friend of Srila Bhakti Swami Guru Maharaj. And he was so attached to Guru Maharaj, Srila Bhakti Swami Guru Maharaj, that even after having a very busy life, still he remembers him every single day. In his lectures, he was telling that. So let's start from the beginning and learn about his grace Madhusevita Prabhuji. So starting from Madhusevita Prabhuji's journey, imagine a young man named, his previous name was Massimo Brioli. He was born in Rome, Italy in 1952. His life took a beautiful turn in 1973 when he decided to join in ISKCON in Kathmandu, Nepal. So this wasn't just a casual decision; it was the start of his lifetime of devotion. So just a year later, when he joined in 1974, he received his first initiation from Srila Prabhupada in the sacred land of Mayapur, India, during the auspicious occasion of Bhakti Prema festival. And this was a direct personal connection to Srila Prabhupada, the founder of our movement. The very next year in 1975, he received his second initiation in Vrindavan, deepening his commitment to Krishna consciousness. Then, from 1973 to 1981, Prabhuji spent his early years immersed in service in India, especially in Mayapur and Kolkata. So this wasn't easy times. Devotee faced, many challenges and worked incredibly hard to establish ISKCON's presence. So Prabhuji quickly showed up his leadership skills. Uh, then he served as a temple commander in Mayapur from 1974 to 1977. And then Prabhuji acted as a vice president in Kolkata from 1977 to 1981. Then in 1981, he returned to his home country, Italy, and continued his dedicated service. Then on demanding his temple president role at Milan at Villaggio Hare Krishna. He is not alone in his spiritual journey. As we read in that PPT in that PDF, he was supported by his wife. Her name was Ali Krishna Devi Dasi, who is a long-time translator for the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust. And together, they have a son whose name was Nitai Prasad Prabhu. Then, as we know that Prabhuji is directly connected to Srila Prabhupada. So, while we met, while we met, while we might not have many stories as long means personal interactions between Madhusevita Prabhuji and Srila Prabhupada, but his connection is incredibly profound. Just think about it. He was personally initiated by Srila Prabhupada in the most sacred places, Mayapur and Vrindavan. So this wasn't just a ceremony, it was a direct passing uh, of a spiritual lineage and a clear mandate for his life's mission. And as we know that Prabhuji has always lived by Srila Prabhupada's vision. And he consistently worked to uphold and expand Srila Prabhupada's legacy. Prabhuji often reminds us that spiritual leaders in ISKCON are the first and foremost servants of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji strongly believes in unity and diversity in ISKCON, a principle Srila Prabhupada himself taught. Prabhuji actively works to strengthen relationship among the GBC members and the wider ISKCON society, ensuring that this unity flourishes. So Prabhuji's contribution to the ISKCON movement are truly remarkable and show his. Yes, Prabhuji?
You can continue, Prabhu.
Yeah. So we are discussing that Madhusevita's contribution to ISKCON movement are truly remarkable, and his contribution show his diverse talents and unwavering commitment. So Prabhuji, we see Prabhuji as a spiritual guide and global leader. Since 1988, he has served as an initiating spiritual master, guiding many devotees on their spiritual path. And in 1992, Prabhuji became member of Governing Body Commission, GBC body, which is ISKCON's highest managing authority globally. His responsibilities have covered areas like parts of Italy, Malta, and Benelux, and he shares GBC duties for Benelux and Paris with another devoted leader, uh, Hriday Chaitanya Prabhu. So BC Prabhuji as a leading GBC, he served as the GBC chairman not once but twice. First in 1997 to 1998, and again in 2010 to 2011. So during his time as chairman, he focused on building stronger relationships within the GBC and larger ISKCON community. He worked on making leadership more organized and effective. His leadership style is known for being a good mix of understanding and compassion, while always sticking firmly to Srila Prabhupada's instruction. The power of his books, we see in BBT. As a BBT trustee since 1991, he's been deeply involved with the Southern European Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, BBT, as a trustee. The BBT is incredibly important because it's responsible for distributing Srila Prabhupada's books worldwide, which are the very foundation of Hare Krishna, our society. He has been key to some amazing achievements in his book distribution, including he encouraged huge book printing goals from Latin American BBT, overseeing the printing of perfect questions and perfect answers in Vietnamese, which was the first government approved book in that language. Prabhuji makes sure that entire braille sets of Prabhupada's books are available in English and Italian for download, making them accessible to more people. Then sponsoring and printing thousands of French Bhagavad Gitas for distribution in African countries. With the first printing of Kazakh Bhagavad Gita, which means Prabhupada's teachings are now available in 57 languages. So, highlighting Italy's strong position, Prabhuji highlighted Italy's strong position in global book distribution, which ranks an impressive fourth behind India, Russia, and the USA, largely thanks to successful traveling temple and book distribution parties. So, as I think you don't know, but Prabhuji is a strong advocate, or you may know also that Prabhuji is a strong advocate for having a clear judicial policies and procedures within ISKCON. This means having systems in place to address any wrongdoings and resolve disputes effectively. He supported bringing back the ISKCON Dispute Resolution Office, as short form IDRO, and training investigators and judges. And Prabhuji is strengthening ISKCON structure. He's always worked towards making the GBC better, focusing on improving internal relationships and suggesting smart ways to organize leadership. He has been involved in many discussions and efforts to uh, to foster unity within the diverse global ISKCON community. So beyond Prabhuji's official roles, his personal touch, beyond his formal titles, Madhusevita Prabhuji is known for his incredible warmth and hospitality. He is even an occasional musician, as we read in that PPT. He plays guitar and sings, and a truly talented chef. His specialty, as we read in that PPT, he makes authentic lasagna, which he is known to serve with unmatched hospitality. This blend of strong leadership and personal warmth makes him a truly approachable and inspiring figure. So, in closing, Madhusevita Prabhuji is a pillar of this ISKCON movement. His life perfectly shows what it means to be dedicated to the Prabhupada's mission. From his challenging early days in India to his crucial roles on the GBC and with the BBT, he has consistently helped ISKCON grow and stay strong all over the world. His leadership, deep understanding of philosophy, and personal kindness continue to inspire all of us and countless devotees. So his journey is a powerful reminder of how a person's sincere devotion can make a profound and lasting impact on a global spiritual movement. So that's all I have prepared for Prabhuji's introduction. I'm thankful to Krishna Kirtan Prabhuji for giving me this chance to glorify Prabhuji. Krishna Kirtan Prabhuji, you can continue now.
Just wanted to add one point, as you were saying that, as we read in the introduction, that he was also the temple commander of Mayapur. So I remember in 2017, I guess he came to Ujjain for the GBC meeting. And
Yeah,
His Holiness Bhakti Swami Guru Maharaj told one thing, that initially when His Holiness Bhakti Swami Guru Maharaj joined ISKCON Mayapur, he was the first, not the counselor, but his senior who guided him to serve. He was his in charge, and he allotted Guru Maharaj the service in Sulab kitchen. So we can see how closely Maharaj acted from Guru Maharaj's mentor to his one of his best friends. So we were very fortunate to hear from him. We are thankful to Jagannath Prem Prabhu for sparing his time out to glorify His Grace Madhusevita Prabhu. So we'd like to thank you once again for attending this session so sincerely. His Grace Madhusevita Prabhu ki Jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Jai, Nitai Gaur Brahmanand. Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Hari.